I bought this abandoned V10 manual BMW M5 that has been rotting for over 6 years. And today, we have 24 hours to rebuild the entire car. The exterior is clapped, interior is abused, and the engine needs to be taken apart and rebuilt from the bottom up. All of this will be fixed in less time it takes to drive the entire East Coast of the United States of America.
Damn! I'm now learning why nobody wants to own these cars. When we first inspected the car, we thought it only needed brakes, control arms, and an oil change.
What you have is extreme degradation of the joints on your upper arms. Yeah, 2 torn thrust arm bushings.
Annoying? Yes. But terrifying? No. But then Vanos codes started popping up. And that is when the stress started. Vanos could be a simple sensor, or it could mean the rod bearings are starting to fail. Could potentially lose the engine on this M5. What we need is clarity. We're gonna have to take the whole bottom part of the engine apart and replace rod bearings bolts, the Vanos high pressure hose, do an oil change, and even replace the oil pan gasket with some other crucial and much needed maintenance for this car.
We have 3 ways of going about this. Option number 1 is taking the M5 straight to the BMW dealer. They'll have OEM parts with warranty, BMW technicians, but the downside is astronomically high prices and very long wait times since most parts come straight from Germany. But then there's option number 2, a local independent shop. This option could be hit or miss, but if done right, you could get much lower cost than a dealership with a more personalized service. However, you do risk quality since the techs are not BMW certified and they might potentially install aftermarket parts that could fail. Then lastly, there's option number 3, where I roll up my sleeves and take full control of this rebuild and save literally thousands of dollars. This would make me become the ultimate BMW M owner. Who knows, this could be the moment I have been waiting for my entire life, or could be a tragic failure captured in 4K.
Let's go ahead and give BMW a call and see how much a job like this is gonna cost.
Hi, I'm calling because I recently purchased a 2007 V10 BMW M5. If I can get a quote for a service for rod bearings.
For the rod bearings, yeah, give me 1 second, brother.
Okay, thank you. You know it's going to be expensive. The question is, how expensive is it going to be?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, yeah, we don't do the rod bearings anymore. We just replace the engine.
Really? Or how would you go about getting a new
We
engine?
go straight from Germany.
Straight from Germany? Do you know how much that would be? Just curious.
I'll tell you what, an M6 I did, a 2018 M6 with the engine was about parts and labor was like $44,000.
44?
Yeah, so I would assume anywhere between 40 to 50 for the V10.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it comes with the warranties and everything.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries, sir. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Oh my gosh. Going to the dealership for something like this is pretty much a non-option. With option 1 off the table, that leaves us with option 2 and 3. Both of these options require us to order our own parts. The best thing to do in this case is to head over to ECS Tuning or Turner Motorsport and either call, live chat, or text them to find the best OEM or upgraded aftermarket parts for any job that you may need. ECS and Turner also offer a wide range of cosmetic and performance modifications, which we will also purchase, which you'll see later in this video. And now that all the parts are ordered, it's time to clean the M5 for the first time. This car is absolutely filthy and still looks abandoned, caked on dirt, non-existent window trims, faded M badges, crusty wheels, hazed out headlights, and an eyesore of a shift knob. Finally, after a couple of months of ownership, it's time to change this. first batch of parts have arrived, including the new eliminated shift knob with an OEM Alcantara and black stitching shift boot, as well as a brake light switch to fix the faulty brake light in the rear, an aluminum brake pedal set from Turner Motorsport for improved pedal grips, also a brand new gas cap since I've been getting gas cap warnings on the dash, a new sticker for the M5 trunk badge, as well as both front and rear windshield trims. Let's get these installed. If anybody's trying this at home, definitely start with the corner and just feed it through. Everything just lines up perfectly. Next, let's get the 20-year-old gas cap removed and replaced with a brand new one. Now, we can focus on the trunk badge sticker. I found cutting slats in the badge allowed me to remove it much faster. Just need to wipe it clean and the new sticker can get installed. The rear end looks amazing now. The back end of the car is kind of done. We moved the M5 by the M4. It's always cool to see these two together. Let's get this out. You see, we got it all out. Should be able to pull that off. All right, so next topic, shift knob. This thing is torn to bits. It's faded. It looks no good. It's an eyesore, and we need to get this thing out of this car. But that's the wire in question. We're gonna cut, I'd say maybe back here before the connector. That leaves us room, and then we'll splice in these cables to that area right there. Damn. Ooh. That cable smacked me in the forehead. With a couple of hard smacks on the knob, the install is now complete. This mod is the first of many interior mods that will make this car feel new again. Next is the brake light switch, which is located above the brake pedal. You need to undo the panels below the steering wheel by removing the screws, unplugging the sensor for better access, then remove the white brake pedal sensor cable. Now we can remove the faulty brake light switch and replace it with a new one. And thankfully it worked because now the brake lights work like a charm. But while we're down here, we might as well install the aluminum pedal set from Turner Motorsport. This pedal set is absolutely beautiful, lightweight. The problem is the standard pedal covers from BMW allow your feet to slip off really easily, especially when you're driving manual. It also has spikes within the aluminum to improve grip for when you're driving spiritedly and need to brake hard or get on the clutch or the gas heavily. Pedals are installed and makes the interior look more like a race car. The last thing we'll do in the interior for now is address the saggy cloth hanging from the A, B, and C pillars. Since they're 20 years old, they pull off no problem. Luckily, there's a better and cleaner looking black material underneath. This looks leagues better than before and will work for now until we can source an Alcantara headliner. Back to our two options of tackling this engine rebuild. As much as I would like to DIY this job to save money, I don't have the tools, knowledge, or experience. That leaves us with one option to get this done. Option number 2, an independent shop. All right, this is the part that's had me terrified. The shop is about 20 to 30 miles away. We obviously don't know the state of this engine. We have to drive it there. Here goes nothing. All right, she started up, she's fine. No check engines. We will have to get some fuel. But if something bad does happen with this car on the way, at least we'll have proof, thanks to the sponsor of today's video, which is DDPAI. DDPAI was nice enough to send out their latest and greatest dash cam, the Z90 Master, which is a 3-channel 4K Ultra HD HDR dash cam. And as soon as we open up the box, we're immediately greeted with the dash camera itself. This right here is the main camera, and the build quality is phenomenal. It's got nice gold trim, finished in like a satin black. But most importantly, that 4K camera is right out front, easily adjustable by moving it manually. And then right here is the secondary camera. And for even better image quality, this thing comes with its own polarizing filter. And in the other box, you have the third camera, which gives you a lot of flexibility to place these things wherever you want. Z90 comes with built-in 128GB of storage, but for extra security, plug in an SD card. Place the first 2 cameras on the front windshield. Then plug the USB into the cigarette lighter, take the third camera and place it on the rear window and plug that one in as well. Finally, then watch the main camera fire right up. Z90 Master features a 4K front, 4K rear, and 3K interior camera system. It has the most advanced app features I have ever seen on any dash cam. Real-time speed display, G-force meter, an accurate compass, and even elevation. But it gets crazier. This thing also allows you to track other vehicle speeds and real-time distance from your vehicle's location, which is absolutely crucial for those emergency situations. Not to mention, the Z90 comes with built-in GPS and a hardwire kit. So if you guys are interested in getting yourself or a loved one a DDPAI dash cam, I'll leave all links in the description. Be sure to keep an eye out for any discount codes to save yourself or a loved one some money. With that being said, let's go ahead and limp this M5 to the shop. We made it to Eurorealm, and immediately I felt like I was in the right place. A bunch of iconic, classic BMW M cars parked everywhere with engines out, and very extensive work being done to each car. The coolest thing about Eurorealm is this is a family business ran by a father and son partnership. The father has worked on cars his entire life and has passed all of his skills and knowledge onto his son, and they both know so much about the classic BMW M car mechanical world. It is a lifestyle to not only work on these cars, but they own classic M cars of their own. I mean, what a dream to be able to share a passion and a space with family and be able to do what we all love, play with cars. Let's talk to the owner and learn more about the decision that we made. Thanks for having us here at the shop.
Of course. Thanks for coming. So my name is Emin. We do everything for BMWs. Parts, mostly service, mods, maintenance, whatever you need. We do a lot of motors, S52, S54 at 20. That's pretty common for us. At 20 we have here, fully restored. And this is a stroker setup. This is an E24 M6. Reboot the head-on.
This is one of my favorite looking BMW.
M-Tech 1 we're building, turbo. We did a full paint job. Now we have to do the engine. We have like a 2002 Touring there, Inca Orange.
That is sick.
Stroker ITB 2.9 liter AP racing brakes. I've started an addiction of like collecting parts and it turned into a business because so
Kid in the candy store with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got clusters, steering wheels, radio units with the original branding too.
Yeah, those we actually put Bluetooth in, so it's pretty cool.
No way.
Yeah. It's always like in and out stuff here. We get like shipments from Europe, so
he also has his own E60 M5, which you guys recently did the rod bearings on this, right?
we did a full engine rebuild on this one.
Nice,
Yeah.
okay. This is a very familiar interior right here. The SMG is fun though, man. When it works, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds crazy, baby.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that sounds good. We've got a duffel bag full of parts from ECS Tuning and Turner Motorsport. Huge thanks to them. You can see we have 2 rear cross-drill rotors, plus some hardware, sensor. To go with that, we also have 2 rear brake pads, nice oil change kit. This is a man filter, 10W60 liquid moly. And then we also have 15 mil spacers for both the front and the rear. Arguably one of the most important things right here, which are the BEARP upgraded bearing bolts. These themselves are actually more expensive than the bearings themselves, but we also have the ACL performance engine bearings standard clearance. And then over here lastly we have some of the bolts to go with the spacers, and this right here on the ground is the oil pan gasket. Power steering fluid as well, because they are going to have to flush the whole system. Pretty much all you need for a rod bearing, upgraded rod bearing Vanos line service on the car. We just have some extra goodies in here to go in the mix. So let's get started. First we need all 4 wheels off of the M5. This will give us easy access to more parts to remove before we drop the front subframe and gain access to the inside of the engine. Next, all of the under trays need to come off too. 2 plastic ones and 1 metal one right in the center. With all of that off, we can drain the oil and inspect it.
Good.
Plug goes back in, and now the oil filter can come off and get replaced. This is where it gets scary for these V10s. We need to inspect the oil and the oil filter for metal shavings. We did find some minor metal shavings in the oil filter.
Oh, there's one here. See?
Oh yeah.
This doesn't look that bad because it probably had like frequent oil changes, but usually it'll collect down here because on oil changes people forget to clean this. When you do the rod bearings, you gotta do a oil change 500 miles.
Right after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Replace filter and oil because you gotta flush out all that metal shavings.
Now that we know that, it's time for the new filter to go in. The next task is to drop the subframe. To do so, we need to mount the engine support bar. This ensures that the engine and transmission stay secure when the subframe comes down.
Got power steering fluid getting drained.
You know, open that up, there's 2 lines on the rack. And then we gotta disconnect the rack right there.
So like you said, it's safe to say the subframe is the hardest. Well, not the hardest, but like
Yeah.
most time consuming.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So now you're about to work on suspension next?
Yeah, we're gonna drop the lower arm and the sway bar and tie rod.
While Emin works on removing the suspension to get that subframe off, his dad is going to get his hands dirty by replacing the rear brake pads and rotors. The pads off, we can look at the before and after, and the difference is drastic. Pops moves quick and had to use a torch to remove some seized bolts on the rear rotor. That's how bad they were. After some manhandling, the old rotor comes off and we can compare it to the new one. Absolutely insane. New rotor goes on and this car is starting to look new again.
So that's the first rotor in. You can also see the factory camber. The wheels are always tilted a little bit for better performance. But man, it's nice seeing a brand new rotor on this car, cross drilled. Here goes the second rotor done, pads installed, everything back together. So rear brakes done.
All the arms are loose.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like spider webs.
Yeah.
The last bolts to the subframe come off and finally the subframe is dropped.
Ooh la la.
Look at how loose
my
this arm is.
gosh.
It was like seized in there. Usually these are like pretty easy to take out, but everything was super seized. But yeah, that's super bad. Like you should not be able to do that.
That's wild. It looks like completely cracked right there.
Yeah. Next step, we're gonna slowly lower this, see how it is with the brace up there,
Okay.
and then start undoing all of this stuff attached to the oil pan. Then take off the oil pan.
All right, making progress, man. Doing good, doing good. You sore yet? Is anything hurt?
No. This is standard stuff for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now we have kind of an eye on these headers, the stock headers that are restricting the sound of this V10 immensely. It would have been nice to have done the headers with this job, but we're gonna have to drop the subframe again at some point because we want to do equal length headers on this car, and these are the stock headers.
There's 2 more parts to go to gain access to those rod bearings. Gushy. I see.
There you go. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, there is no easy way of doing that part. Yeah.
Now we can see into the heart and soul of this 5-liter V10 and get some answers. From the look of it, this is the first time the oil pan has ever been dropped, and the rod bolts are indeed original. Let's waste no time and get these rod bearings and bolts removed and see what they look like.
No copper showing, which is good. I think it looks good. No damage on there. Usually the top ones are worse. So
Okay.
well, let's see how that one looks. Oh, not bad.
All right.
You can see each individual bearing. Some of the cylinders that's showing copper. That's where you see that yellowish gold. That is not a good sign. Now, that being said, the whole bearing isn't showing copper. If it was, then that means it's a ticking time bomb. Either way, these bearings are very used. It's a great thing that we got these things replaced and taken care of, and we'll have another 50, 60,000 miles at the minimum until we need to do it again. But from the bearings, we have the bolts, and these are genuine OEM bolts. So there are two ways of going about this. You could get the factory bolts, but there is a much more in-depth, more complicated torquing process with these bolts. They're basically harder to install and easier to mess up the job if you do OEM bolts. Now, are these the original bearings? It is likely. Also, the crank is looking good in every single cylinder. The whole crank looks flawless. Get this car button back up, get this Vanos line put back on. Future's looking bright. Then we can start to modify this car. Finally, it's time to install the new bolts and the new bearings. We need to lubricate both the bearings and the bolts prior to install, focusing on the points of contact. The bolts are the scariest part because you need to be very careful when installing them. Emin had to break out the digital torque wrench. That way he can torque the bolts to spec, which is exactly 50 foot-pounds of torque. Keep in mind, if these bolts are over torqued, you can't loosen the bolt and reinstall it. You have to use a brand new bolt, and we don't have any extras, and they don't sell them by the single. There we go. If we look now, you can see the upgraded ARP bolts are in every single cylinder except cylinder 1. So this job is coming to an end. Now we just have to get, when I say we, I mean him, has to get to the Vanos line. There, that is the tip of it. Replace it with this guy right here. We are so close. Now both the oil and Vanos pump need to come off to remove and replace that Vanos main line. But to do that, some parts on the top end need to come off too.
If you want, you can drop your motor. It's almost there.
Maybe another time. Maybe
Yeah,
another
yeah.
time.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, got it out. One crusty line.
Yes.
One actually new one.
Now we put the new Vanos main line on, but now we have to calibrate the backlash on the Vanos gear, and it rubs against the crankshaft. So there's a specific tolerance that it has, and we're gonna set it up right now. But right now we just put it in, so you can see when we move it, the gauge moves. And basically, next up, we're gonna adjust this, moving it left or right to put it within spec.
This thing pulled up a Mola Red on BBS's off rip. He's got the Recaro pole position. So we are gonna throw these seats inside of that because of the CSL prototype that BMW did. He's also got a nice short shifter. Interior is really clean. Man, look at the front end, the fitment. Gorgeous looking car.
I pre-ordered it. It's like the 12th one. They came like,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah. If you want, we can go for a drive. I'll show you.
Okay. Insane. Yeah, these seats, man, like I mentioned earlier, definitely have to put these in the V10. That's Dude, these things feel so raw,
Crazy.
man. Just keeps revving these cars, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
This is a great build, man.
Thanks.
He's got over 170,000 miles.
172, 286.
All right, I guess I'm taking this one for a spin. Oh! Man, this thing is way more muscly than stock. I feel like I need to grow my chest hair driving this.
I haven't even reached the limits like of this car.
Yeah, the shifter feels great.
Yeah. Gotta feel the steering.
Yeah. That sounds good. Wow.
Yeah, alright.
Jeez. Yeah, I love the seats, man.
Yeah, it's peppy.
Yeah. Now that was lit, but it's time to get back to work. While they start putting the car back together, I inspected the subframe and found the last bit of rat poop on the car. We need to clean it all to make sure these rats never return. And with that done, the subframe can finally go back on and the suspension reinstalled.
Pretty sure it'll take 2 of these because it drained a lot more oil than a regular oil change. So.
Okay. For reference, an E46 M3 only takes 1 of these jugs. These V10s drink oil like an elephant.
So it might give a bunch of codes because we had the ignition on.
Okay. Fired up.
Now we're gonna do some checks. Check to see if there's any leaks going on. Once over of every bolt, we put the covers on, and then check the oil level at the end when it's down with the covers.
Okay.
It's there, 90,
Nice.
99%.
99.1.
Yeah, exactly. Looking good. No issues there. We want to check around the oil pan area, make sure the gasket's well seated. It is. Luckily, we didn't take apart much stuff, just like the main stuff we had to, like the oil pan gasket. We didn't open any of these lines because you can just get away with loosening these up and moving them out of the way. But yeah, everything looks good, so that's good.
Nice.
You got 3 DME codes, ABS, cluster, tire pressure because the rims are off. We'll have to clear the codes again when we drive it. Maybe we'll have a Vanos codes because maybe it ran without oil in the beginning.
Right, okay.
It's not a big deal. DME, fuel signal because I had the fuel disconnected. This is Vanos. Yeah, which is alright because again it has to get under pressure. It ran a little bit. Regular stuff, we're gonna erase everything and then see how the car works.
This motor has had the lower half taken apart and is now put back together and running again. Unreal. I am blown away. Emin and his father completed this job in less than 48 hours. Let's put the wheels and under trays back on, see how the ECS spacers look, and figure out if this car actually drives. Another startup. This time, first try. Oh yeah, look at that fit. Much better. No way, dude. How do you feel, man? You just did all that work in less than 48 hours.
Let's do it again.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, it's good.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we're gonna ease into the low launches right now. Just see how the car reacts. And then yeah, wait until it gets up to 10. It's almost to max marked. The transmission feels nice on this car. Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I like it. So
Okay.
much better than the SMG. Just like, because like the SMG only shines when you like hard drive it. In like day-to-day city stuff, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's good when you're flat out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not fun. So we are in MDM now, sport mode. Dude, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad, especially since it's just sitting in the apartment.
But it's like, it's super low key though. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it goes, it moves.
Some motivation for your 6-speed swap, huh?
Yeah, okay, I'm back to being motivated. Your shift knob slid out.
No way.
Oh my god, the throw's so long. You need a short shifter. I'm not used to this one. But it drives, it drives.
We'll get it there. We'll get it there.
It's got the heart, you gotta add the character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for fixing the rod bearings on the car.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my goodness. I've seen V10 owners in the past talk about how the metal shavings get caught in the Vanos line and lower the pressure of the Vanos unit, which lowers the pressure of the engine, which basically gives you less power. So I can definitely confirm this car is way more peppy, way more revvy too. The throttle is way more responsive, and I just think we have all the power back inside this car. The shift knob feels really good now. The brakes are really good, but also the Turner Motorsport pedals. Man, my feet are not losing grip on those pedals at all. They just like stick into place. Barely even have to touch the brakes now. So we did one last and final thing, and that is buff out the headlights. They were really hazed out before, and as you can see, they are super clean and damn near look brand new. And all the parts being fitted to the car, it looks exactly like 2007 again when I just stare at this thing. It's so beautiful. This car has aged so well, and it reminds me a lot of the G90 M5. We can also see one of the first modifications on this car, which are the 15 mil wheel spacers front and rear. Makes the car look a lot better, but then if we come around back, everything is looking good. First and foremost, you can see the window trim is tucked both in the front and the rear. Looks brand new there. The trunk badge is looking phenomenal, and the car is clean. The car is way cleaner than you guys saw in the beginning of this video. You can see we got the floor mats in, aluminum pedal set, but then you can also see the shift knob, and we have more modifications coming for this car. So we are going to build this car, do a full build on it. We have a lot of mods on the way. We have a lot of mods sitting at the house right now, including a full exhaust. So we're gonna start to build. From here on out, you're gonna see this car getting modified extensively. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And I'm super happy to have this car back in its original 2007-like state. Except this time, just 100,000 miles and a manual transmission. So I wanna give a huge thanks to EuroRealm. This video would not have been possible without their help. They really did a bang-on job with the rod bearings. They worked fast, but they did their job very meticulously. And if you guys are in Southern California or any state in America, I highly recommend whether you ship the car to them or you just pull up locally, get your work done at their shop. It's amazing to see what they are doing to not only their cars, but their customer cars. And especially if you guys have an S85 V10, S65 V8, or inline 6 high raving engine, any naturally aspirated M motor, definitely take it to EuroRealm. I'll leave all links, all information in the description. They'll get you guys set up for an appropriate price that beats the dealer, and they have a lot of experience working on these kind of cars. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.